Years ago, I had this EQ that he was talking about, that charisma. It was misdirected. I was a bad guy. I was a stockbroker, and I made a lot of money as a stockbroker. And God kept saying, Tom, let go of the rope. And he kept bringing in circumstances like the restaurant burning down and 2 DUIs and 2 disturbing the pieces in 1 month. And I wouldn't let go of the rope. And everybody thought I should be a network marketer but me, because I didn't want to do it. And every time I turned around, something was going on that was just like his alcoholic dad, like the restaurant. Something happened, and it was just God saying, let go of the rope, Tom. And I couldn't do it until finally I did it. And I'll never forget, man, that network marketing opportunity came along, and this guy named Eric McKelvey, I called him on the phone and I said, what is this? And he said, multi-level marketing. And I said, I'll be right over there. I'm in. And I finally let go of the rope, like Robert Gonzalez let go of the rope, and the rest is history. And I want you guys, it isn't when you get into network marketing that matters. It's when network marketing gets into you. It's not when you get into longevity that matters. It's when longevity gets into you. Otherwise, you're just walking and clipping a coupon and taking a check and figuring out what's wrong with the world. But I'll tell you, once you get this in your blood, you're going to knock down walls, and there's not going to be anything stopping you. You're going to get that gift of desperation at that level. And I couldn't have done anything I've done. You want to see the exact date of the tipping of the Tom Chenault success story. It goes back to July 1st, 1999. That was the day that this little ring right here, that's got the Alcoholics Anonymous symbol on it, inside it's got July 1st, 1999, because that's the day sobriety and marriage with Denise Chenault collided, and the rest is history. Because with us, we became 1 + 1 = 10. Denise, introduce our next guest.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to see, let's see, over 200 people on this Saturday morning, afternoon Zoom training, Super Saturday, that is literally sending out waves across our world. We have people on from all over, not just the United States, but all over the world. And this is, I wish that we could be together in person, but this is the next best thing. And the great thing about this is I get to see all of your beautiful faces from all over. And Robert was incredible. He's always touched my heart, and I really didn't know the full story, Robert. And I totally believe what you said is correct, which is what I first heard from Dr. Muhammad Yunus, who was he got the Nobel Peace Prize for his work with microloans, and he said that all human beings are entrepreneurs. And I believe that to be true. We get to fully express who we are in this company, being creative, and I am so excited to be able to introduce our next speaker, because Marianne Niehaus, the facts are this: she's a wife to Ken. She is a mother to Reese and Kira, and she's a grandmother to 1-year-old Crixie, who is her apple of her eye and just absolutely adorable. But what I love most about Marianne is when you are able to spend some time with her, you hear some stories about her past that, just like Robert, you're like, holy moly, how are you here today? Like any one of those things could have taken a normal human being down, and you're still here. And not only that, your commitment to personal development, Marianne, it blows me away. And you are one of the few people in longevity who has literally, because of your huge servant heart You have literally touched almost every single person in longevity because of who you are. And you don't care where they are in the company, who's downline, whatever, you are there to serve. And I've actually had to coach her a little bit in creating boundaries because she has such a huge servant heart. So with that, I want to introduce my beautiful friend, Marianne Niehaus, who is incredibly talented, and she is going to share with us some great insight into her years of working at her longevity business.
Oh my gosh, I have like tears in my eyes. Thank you for that introduction. And, you know, it's true, I've had to hold myself back a little bit. At one point when I did some personal development, and they said, you know, ask your peers what they think is the best thing about you, and then, you know, find out what they think you need to improve on. And Tom was very honest with me, and he said, I love your heart. You have such a big heart. And part of your problem is you have such a big heart. And Denise has coached me on how to say no. But I'm so honored, really, just listening to everybody's.
She's really done a good job on that.
Yeah. Everybody's stories have touched me. And Denise is right. I'm not going to go into a lot of what my experience has been over the years, but just like Robert, there's been a lot of times when resilience is what kept me going. And really being here today because my background, I always have been an entrepreneur. My parents told me when I was just a kid, I would literally do a play in my backyard, charge people to come, make Kool-Aid for beverages, have them pay for the beverages. And I've just always had that entrepreneurial heart. So I'm just so honored to be able to be here. I owned my own marketing and advertising business for 20 plus years. And my story is I woke up one day and I was like, oh my God, I hate my job and I'm the boss. And I literally thought that I was living the dream. And so it's true, I have a beautiful family and I am so grateful for that. And really looking back and just real quick, I lost my first husband when I was 21 to cancer. And I always thought when we met, we dated for 4 years, knew we were going to get married. And I really believed that I would spend the rest of my life with this man. And when something like that hits you, and 3 months after we were married, he passed. I really felt like I had nothing. You know, where was I going to go from there? And ironically, my first husband's cousin introduced me to my husband today of 37 years. I have 2 beautiful children, as Denise mentioned, and my Crixie is just the apple of my eye, and I just love her. And seriously, when things like that happen, like what Robert was talking about, you know, you feel like everything is done. This is it. And we've had several other things in our life after that. But when I saw what longevity had to offer, I was so excited. While my husband and I still had great health, we could see that it was sort of on that downturn. When, is Tom wearing shorts? Because it's a little distracting there for a second.
Tom.
But anyway, so several years ago, my mom was diagnosed with cancer and my daughter was in a near fatal car accident, and my husband and I experienced a lot of financial despair. And during that time, I spent my entire 401k that I had built up right through working in the corporate world and also having my own business. And so when my upline, who is Trish Hetherington, I love her, her and I had met when our kids played hockey. She has a total servant heart. She was going through some issues. I needed to figure out a way to make some money and to build my retirement back up because we had just spent it basically. And when she came to me and showed me longevity, I want to talk about that. So what I want to talk about is how to tell a powerful story. What you've heard from all of these speakers today is their stories, right? And how to wind that in to your longevity presentation. One of the things that is so powerful is this new tool that we were able to bring to you guys. And I'm going to talk about how to create a story. Can everybody see that? Is it up there? Okay. So we start off with our story, right? And this is what attracts people, because we're working on being our best us, right? Be your best you, so you can help other people be their best them. And I want to talk about gratitude just really quick, because I just did this series of 28 days of the attitude of gratitude, and everybody talked about that, right? You have to have a great mindset. So the hard truth in success isn't a series of actions as much as it is your attitude. So I wanted you to think about your attitude when you're giving this presentation, okay? We talked about attraction, Amal talked about attraction. I mean, everybody was so powerful in what they spoke about today, because it takes you to this very moment. Does that make sense? It takes you to the very moment when you are sharing with the person across the table from you. I always laugh because my dream was to be able to get paid to have coffee with my friends, and now I do, right? So you invite somebody for a cup of coffee or a three-way Zoom or whatever you're going to do, and you share your story. And I'm going to give you 5 steps to share your story. And what I want to tell you is you tell the highlights, okay? You're not telling the whole movie, you're just doing the trailer, because we don't have time to present the entire movie. You'll get to do that at a later time. So, number 1 for creating a powerful story is, and less is always better, just so you know. Okay. So where were you? And I don't mean like where were you standing or where were you sitting? Where were you emotionally, right? Becca talked about her health. And when she was presented this, Dr. Wallach, when somebody, her husband brought to her, you should hear this guy, then it was a powerful story for her, correct? And so she's going to say, here's where I was. She talked about that, where her health was. So physically, emotionally, Robert, he felt like a loser, right? I can't, we're always driving around, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made that mistake, right? Loser. But guess what? That's not where it ends, right? But he heard when he was introduced to Dr. Ariaza, he heard Dr. Ariaza's powerful story. All right, so where were you? All right, then, what did you hear? Wow, I heard that I might be able to get my health back. Wow, I heard that there's an opportunity here for me to grow an income. That's what I heard. I heard, here's a way for me to make some money so my husband and I will have a nice retirement. If you're looking at living on Social Security, that was not where I wanted to be, right? Because I already knew it wasn't going to be enough. So what I heard from Trish was hope that I could make some money, that I could use a residual income, that I could retire my husband and I. Okay. Then what did I decide to do when I heard that? When I heard, Dr. Lewis's story, or when I heard Dr. Wallach's story, or Fred Van Loo's story, I heard that I want to do this. I want to join. I want to be a part of longevity. Okay. Because while I didn't have health issues at the time, per se, my son did. And I really wanted him to have a healthier life, which he does. And so does the rest of us. So that's part of the story, right? Okay. So where were you? What were your results? All right. What were your results? Now I'm sharing that my health is improved. I do my over 60 and loving it. And I swear to God, I mean, Ken told me I was going to be 64 the other day. And I'm like, 64, really? Am I that old? Oh, no, it's only 63. Thank God. But I get tons of compliments about that they can't believe that I'm over 60 at all, much less 63, not 64. And so how are you, you become a product of the product, right? We talk about this in our little 15-minute presentation here. Okay, so my husband and I got our health back, and my son got his health back. And I was able to help my daughter after her near fatal, car accident. And so how much longevity did you get into longevity? I'm going to go through this individually too, but I want you to tie in how these things impacted you in your life, right? Okay. And then number 5, right? So number 1 is, where were you? Tommy, stop that. Just stop it, Tom. Just stop it. Okay. What did you hear? Number 2. 3, what did you decide to do? I decided to join as a customer. I decided to join as a distributor. Or I decided to be an influencer. That's how I wanted to come into longevity. Okay. And then what were the results? Well, I got my health back. My daughter got her health back. And guess what? I started making a residual income. And that is going to be part of my husband and I's retirement. And now what am I doing? I'm sharing with others. I'm sharing with others, number 5, how to help them get their health back if that's what they want to do, right? Or how to make money if that's what they want to do. And we have to ask permission, and we have to put people into where it fits for them. So now I'm going to give a little presentation here and tell my story quickly and walk it through this brochure, just like you're being taught to. Sean was awesome. Pamela was phenomenal. Tom was great as usual. But most of you may not have done this in the past, so you got to tell your story. And I'm going to do this because I already set a timer. I'm going to do this in 5 minutes. Are you guys ready? All right. So thank you so much for sitting down with me today. And I really appreciate your time and for you giving me permission to share with you why I'm a part of longevity. And so what I realized when somebody first spoke to me about longevity, that this was way more than just a vitamin and mineral company. This was a way for me to reach my dreams. And so during the time of the presentation, I really opened my mind to the opportunity that someone sitting across the table from me gave to me. And I was looking for a way to make an additional income and to make back some money that I had lost in a stressful medical expensive time where I had to spend my entire 401k just to live on. And so when I saw this presentation, I saw hope. And while health wasn't a big issue for me, it was for my son. And when I heard the story of Dr. Wallach and his lifetime of dedication and how he developed the Core 90 through his research, I knew that I was onto something here. And the results became phenomenal and very, I don't want to say apparent, that these products really work. I also saw a vision for myself physically and financially and for my entire family. And so that for me really was a huge aspect of what longevity could offer. I integrated longevity into my life. I use all of their makeup, their skincare, their hair care, their nutrition, their jewelry, and the products go on. And what I learned was how to do transfer buying. And so 90% of the products that I have in my home, including cleaning products and coffee, I buy from my very own store. And for me, that's really powerful because then I'm able to help my distributors and my customers and my influencers do the same. So you have an opportunity to choose where you want to be a part of longevity. I have a lot of people that come in as customers. And as you can see here, about 80% of the people I talk to choose to come in and be a customer to get their health back. 15% choose to be a distributor, share some products with their friends and family, and make a little commission. 5% of the people I talk to decide to be influencers, which is exactly how I came into Youngevity. I wanted to be an influencer because I wanted to build a residual income that would be powerful for me and my family and for my legacy of what I was going to be able to give back to my son, my daughter, and my grandchild. Oh yeah, and my husband as well. So where do you see yourself in Youngevity? How is it going to help you get your dreams? And do you want to be a part of the influencer program or a distributor, or is a customer where you'd like to get your health back and just start with some products? All right, you guys, there you go. I tied in my story and tied my story into all the different aspects here. So I hope that you got the message of telling your story is the most important part of giving the presentation, because that makes you authentic. That gets people to buy into you, which there's lots of companies out there, right? And lots of great companies and lots of great products. However, people are buying you. They're not buying the products. All right, hold on here. I got to stop screen sharing really quick. Tom, thanks for the flashing and your distraction during the presentation. But I want to tell you guys, I'm so grateful. And seriously, I did this series of 28 days of the attitude of gratitude. If you guys want to watch the videos, I know several of you have and have enjoyed them. They really are powerful, especially during this time when it feels like there's not a whole lot to be grateful about, but there really is. I'm so grateful for Zoom and being here with all of you today. So thank you.
What about the opposite side of the paper? Did you talk about that?
I did not.
You better.
I did not. All right, really quick. I have like a minute.
You have 2 minutes left.
2 minutes. All right, well, let's talk about that because this is Tommy's favorite side here. All right, so.
You got to document. You've got to write down things about people so you can put it in your contact mapping.
It's so true. Hold on, my thing is dismissing here. Okay, so what's so amazing about this piece of paper is that we actually did something on the opposite side.
The two-sided.
So you're going to flip it over. What's that?
The two-sided piece of paper.
It's the two-sided piece of paper. So it's going to give you a little clue of some things to talk to your people about, the Youngevity Go-To app, the Youngevity RC, and the contact mapping CSI. And yes, we didn't have anybody really train around that, but this contact mapping, and I've been doing it for years because of Tom. I didn't have the app right until just recently, but the last couple of years, I guess. But it is such a powerful, powerful tool. And so I really can't emphasize enough for you guys to use the tools that we have here. The Youngevity Go-To app has amazing assets in it, but none of this is going to do anything unless you have people to talk to and relationships that you've built so that you can share this opportunity with them. Does that make sense? And how you do it is by getting to know people, interviewing them, finding out where they're at. And something somebody said was the best thing about network marketing and the best thing about your relationships is when people start coming to you. And just recently, I've had a few people come to me and say, hey, I'm ready to do this now, or I'm going to be ready to do this. And it's not because I did a great presentation as much as it is, I did a great job of building a relationship. And I have to say, and I know Tom's going to get a big head about it, but he's taught me everything I know about building relationships.
But Jenna Goodajohn cut your hair.
Jenna Goodajohn cut my hair. I trimmed my bangs.
She's got 3 years of sobriety. She posted the most unbelievable thing from.
She did.
you know, our stories are everything. And, you know, whether it was Pamela, whether it was Marianne, whether it was James, whether it was Linda Tyler putting out the publicity on this thing, whether it was Lanny Sharp helping run the show, I am telling you, it's hard to believe that we